is to introduce something that we are very excited about introducing from a TSMA initiative standpoint. TSMA has existed for 8 years now, and there's kind of 3 legs to the stool of TSMA. One of them is the quarterly programs, what you are experiencing this morning, where we bring world-class people, world-class, like Joe here, into a discussion like this with his team. They could come from the area or they could come from all over the world, and we'll bring them in here. Like Joe said earlier, why send one person to Miami or Denver or San Francisco for a conference? Why not bring 10 of your folks or 20 of your folks, in Anchor's case, more than that, to an event and let them absorb it, let them learn it. So the quarterly programs, we all have the same interests. That's what we do at the quarterly programs. The second thing is a best practice tour. You saw Nick's has a best practice coming up in April. And again, it's not a tour for grandma, it's a best practice tour. What's something that you've gotten really good at that you want to share with the rest of the community? And when we see it, we learn, we grow, we get stronger. And the third is peer groups. And with peer groups, it's just a more intimate, smaller size group. You know, if you're a lean practitioner, there's a lean peer group, and you can talk about the struggles, the opportunities that you've got in your lean journey with a group of peers that you can trust. Again, it all comes a bit down to trust. But the core of everything that I've just described in our 3 legs of the stool is that we want somebody that knows something about something to tell somebody that doesn't know, doesn't have that best practice. I want to learn from somebody that's doing something good. And then I want to share something that I know really well with somebody else. That is the core of TSMA. Get out of the craziness of your world that happens on a day-to-day rat race and just take a deep breath and learn from other people, how other people are doing other practices, best practices, and then take something back with you and change the way you're approaching your world. When I look in this room, and you saw on the name tags, the companies present. The companies here, you have the ability to change the world. Evansville will either succeed or fail on this group of 200 plus people here this morning. We're the leadership. Either we're going to do a good job, and Evansville is going to become stronger, and the tri-state, Jasper, Boonville, and every place else, or we're going to do a bad job, and it's not going to be good for the tri-state. So that's our challenge. That's what we're about. Everybody should have, can everybody pull this sheet out? We are launching this training collaboration initiative this morning. We've had this vision. Actually, this was a perfect time to launch this, spurred on from the program we were doing with Joe and his team, because Joe, from his early days on the TSMA committee, had the same vision, and he was probably the one that was the most vocal. As manufacturers, we all have the same challenges, all of us. Not everybody can put together an Alcoa University. We don't have the resources to do it. Even Joe, with how many did you say, 80 classes, 90 classes? You know, there's probably 120 classes he'd like to have. You can't do it all. So how do we as a manufacturing community, how do we approach this and collaborate with each other to where we all get stronger, this entire room? Very few of us compete head-to-head with each other. So how do we all get stronger? So at the top, if you go to this side of the sheet, okay, we asked USI, forgive me Ivy Tech, because there will be more that will join us in this endeavor. But at the beginning of this initiative, we asked USI and Purdue MEP to join us on this mission and to just help us get launched with this. So that's why you'll hear us talk about USI and Purdue, but it will expand with Ivy Tech, with Vincennes. There will be others that I'm sure will join in on this. At the highest level, that top box, performance gap assessment and build learning plan, if you wanted someone from Purdue or USI to come in and actually look at your team, look at the development needs of your leadership team. I love to comment, I heard Joe or somebody say earlier, you're so good at what you did, and that's why you became a team leader. You're so good at a team leader, it's why you became a value stream leader, department supervisor, whatever you call and then we stop training. Seriously, we stop developing. And so that has to change. That's what this initiative is all about. So that performance gap, you could invite somebody to come in from USI Purdue that could work with your leadership team and say, here's our weaknesses, and let's come up with a roadmap. And let's take that roadmap and implement it over the next 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever. Okay? That's at the highest level. If you don't want to do that, go down to the next couple boxes. What we've got there with soft skills from USI and hard skills from Purdue. So flip over your page and you'll get a sense of what we're talking about. So the middle column, for example, USI, outreach and engagement. As we launch this initiative, there are 3 programs that USI that we're going to, I guess, the community within this endeavor. You can see the 3 listed there. Leadership skills for the new leader. And you can read the bullet points under there of what you would gain from those. So primary roles, responsibilities, resource and information. You're a new leader. I gotta have a lot of stuff. I guess I gotta get a foundation of. And for $379, the next class is it's a 2 Friday class, April 6th and 13th. That class will be held, Daniela, where's that?
Innovation Point.
At Innovation Point downtown, okay? So that's an example. The second one, Leadership Challenge Workshop. 5 practices of exemplary leadership. Model the way, inspire shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, encourage the heart. I love that agenda. Again, it's going to be a 2-day class. It's set for June 1st and 8th, all full-day classes. You got to be able to get away from work and join that. That one's $9.99. They're both 2-day classes, so the one agenda must just be so much more powerful. So, but you do get free breakfast and lunch. So again, you get the sense of what we're doing, where we're going. Third one, art of influencing others. So those are all skills that need to be developed that are soft skills. The Purdue MEP, which is the left column, those are more hard skills. So I'm on this sheet again. Okay, on the hard skills, there is a 10-day class that's been put together, Lean Practitioner Certification. You'll end this program after 10 days, over 10 weeks, and you will literally have a certification from Purdue as a Lean Practitioner. And it's starts with the principles of lean manufacturing, goes to 5S, principles of value stream mapping, and just builds one after another. You come out of that, and you're going to have some real good, strong, hard skills. There's also Kaizen facilitation and problem solving. That are the other 2. So those are just ready to go, ready to launch, part of this. The third piece that I am really excited about is the TSMA Shared Learning Program. So that is where there are companies that have already talked about it, and they are going to share what they have created. So what Joe talked about with his Alcoa University, he's going to open that up to the community. And you'll see on the Shared Learning Program, Alcoa University, on here I'm just giving you a few examples. Okay, here's a bunch more if you can read that from the back of the room. So any of these classes, so the concept is on the Shared Learning Program is that if they're doing the class and they've got room for 15 and they only have 10 from Alcoa leadership that's going to be there, they're going to open it up to 5 more. And let 5 other people come in there, and if you want to learn something about the safety or the reliability, in fact, I think Joe's teaching a reliability course next week or tomorrow. So if anybody wants, what's the title of the thing?
Reliability excellence for asset owners.
Reliability excellent for asset owners. If you're interested in that, is there room? Do you have room?
I think we probably have room for Dave for maybe up to 5 people.
Okay, so if you're interested in that, talk to Joe afterwards, okay? So on all of these Jasper Engines, you can see the multi-day opportunities that Jasper Engines is going with. Standardized workshop for 5 days, point of cause, problem solving, 4 days. So again, I'm back on this list. Okay, you want to learn about problem solving, and Jasper has the same openness to this. You go to something for 4 days, you're not going to be sitting in a conference room learning how to solve a problem. You're going to be on the floor. It's what they put all their leadership through. It's impressive. And so, again, if they've got 10 people that are there and they've got 2 openings, they're going to open it up for 2 other people to be part of it. So, says Anchor University. We do have an Anchor University, but Kaizen events. We do Kaizens on a routine basis. Those Kaizens are something that we would absolutely, Mike, you were talking earlier, we'd absolutely love for somebody from the outside. We have no issues with having 1 or 2 people from the outside come and participate. If you want to learn what a Kaizen event does, what it feels like from some place besides what you've done in your own, then we'll open that up. And last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a Kaizen event. 2 people from the East Coast actually came from another company. It is fantastic. You get those eyes seeing things that you don't see because you live in that world every single day. And their experience, what they walked away with, you would have think that we gave them $1 million. It was a phenomenal experience for those 2 visitors that joined us for the week. We also have a mini mart process that we're very proud of. And again, if somebody from the community wanted to come in and learn how to do this, how we supply raw materials to all of our lines in a very disciplined process, we'd absolutely put on some kind of a training event where you learn the real nuts and bolts of how to do that. So, make sense? Thank you to Daniela, to Joe. Can you guys wave from USI and from Purdue? They were instrumental in this. Joe Kuhn, Brian Kilman, there's a number of people in the room as well that helped kind of think through and get this thing launched. I think this is a game changer. I think this is a game changer for Southwest Indiana, because when we open up and share, it becomes powerful stuff that comes out of it, and we all get stronger. Okay? So, survey. Look on your table. There should be a survey. Okay? It says manufacturer feedback survey. If you could, I'm going to give you a minute. It is about this program, not about the morning program. It is about this training initiative that I'm describing. Can you take a minute, read through that, think of it from a company perspective, or think of it from a personal perspective? What is it that we need? What are the gaps? Would you be willing, like an Anchor, an Alcoa, a Jasper Engines, would you be willing to open yourselves up to let other people in the community come and participate in some of your learning? Okay, so there's a new website. As we get things, like once we have the dates for what Alcoa is going to offer, what Jasper is going to offer, those things will be on our website. So you can see the dates, the time, the dollars. When you go through that shared learning program, you'll see back on this sheet here, it talks about a $50 or $100 or $150. What you're doing, the companies don't want anything. So there's no dollars that's going to Jasper or Alcoa. When you pay that, what you're doing is just giving us a little more funds as we continue to expand. The TSMA continues to expand this program. So just FYI on that.